Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good day everybody. In this session I will present my final project as MBA student from SBMITB with the title System Dynamic Modeling for Analyzing Fuel Ratio of Overburden Truck in Pit Lignite at PT Kaltim Primacool. This is the outline. The first is introduction, the second is conceptual framework, the third is developing the model and simulation, and the last is conclusion. So, let's start with the introduction. PT Kaltim Primacool is one of the biggest coal mining company in Indonesia located on Kalimantan Island. Every year, around 20 pits are mined by this company. One of them is Pit Lignite, which has a specific condition compared to others. This pit located in a swamp area, so the structure of the hauling road is a bit soft. When we talk about the cost mining in this company, the biggest cost component is fuel cost. It's about 24% of the total mining cost, which is mostly used for overburden removal activity, the largest part of coal mining activities. Next, when we look at the historical data for the last 3 years, it shows that the fuel ratio of OB trucks tends to increase. Therefore, the management of this company is very concerned about this issue. Next, we look at the business process. OB removal activity is part of coal mining activities. This activity includes OB loading to the truck, and loaded truck goes to dumping point. At the dumping point, the truck spills the OB, and then the empty truck goes back to loading point, and the truck queue for the next task. This is, we call it one cycle activity of OB removal. Next is the research question. There are 3 research questions here. What variables affect the increasing fuel ratio, and how are they related? The second, what are scenarios following it, and which one is the best? And the third, what is the percentage reduction in the fuel ratio for the best case scenario? Next, let's talk about the conceptual framework. The first framework is system thinking. System thinking is a method for viewing problems in the workplace as a unified system where the interrelated elements are influenced and affect each other. As a framework, system thinking offers a set of tools for communicating. System thinking can unravel systemic problem, and at the end it is easy to propose systemic solution as well. And system thinking has a unique characteristic, such as a big picture perspective. It emphasizes seeing the system as a whole rather than a specific part. It encourages us to think circularly rather than sequentially, and it contains a precise set of principles to reduce ambiguity and miscommunication. And it provides visual tools that reach in implications and insights such as a causal loop diagram and behavior over time graphs. And it can open our mental model, converting individual perception into an explicit pictures. Next, what are the problems criteria that can be approached with the system thinking concept? There are 4 criteria. It is significant issue. It is a chronic problem that frequently occurs, not just a one-time event, and the problem is familiar and has historical data. And the important thing is no one has managed to solve it before. The second is a system dynamic model. A system dynamic model is an abstract model that uses hypothesized relationships across activity and processes. System dynamic model can simulate a process continuously, System dynamic model is a model of future behavior. It can describe the behavior of a system in the future. And it is not just a model, but also a learning process. Because the more we interact with the model, the more we understand the system we are studying. And the system dynamic model consists of two things here: causal loop diagram and stock and flow diagram. This is the causal loop diagram, CLD. CLD is an important tool to describe feedback structure in the system. It connects variables that are interconnected with causal link, and each causal link has a positive sign or negative sign. Positive sign indicates that two variables are in the same direction. For negative sign, it indicates that two variables are in the opposite direction, and its loop can be labeled as R, reinforcing loop, or B for balancing loop. R for reinforcing loop is also known as a growth loop. For example, here we can see the picture here. This is about the vehicle engine working system. If the engine load high, the fuel burn rate also high. If fuel burn rate high, then the fuel consumption will be high also. And if the fuel consumption high, it usually because the engine load high, and this is continue to grow as the arrow direction here. And for B is a balancing loop. We also known as feedback loop. For example, we can see the picture here. This is about road transportation system. If the road conditions are good, then the vehicle travel speed will be high. If the travel speed high, it vehicle reach the destination faster. If it reach the destination faster, means that there are no road maintenance along the way. If there are no road maintenance, then in turn road condition will be damaged, and this loop will continue giving feedback as the arrow direction here. Next is stock and flow diagram. SFD is a way of representing the structure of a system with more detailed information than in CLD. It is foundation of system dynamic modeling. SFD distinguishes variables that are stocks and those are flows. Stock or level is variable that can accumulate. Flow or rate is variable that can change the slope. And we can see here this is the model of CLD model, then convert to the SFD model. In CLD model, fuel consumption is the same variable with the engine load, and the same variable also with the fuel burn rate. But in SFD, fuel consumption is the stock, fuel burn rate is flow, and the engine load is auxiliary. Okay, next is a step-by-step to develop system dynamic model. First is identify all variables involved in the system in the problem. Then determine the model description by classifying all variables whether endogenous or exogenous. Then determine the relationship between all variables. And next, develop a causal loop diagram based on those variables and the relationship, and convert the CLD into the SFD. Then next, create scenario based on the alternative solutions and run and simulate the scenario. Okay, the next section is developing the model and simulation. This is the first step. list of variables and the relationship. Okay, next this is the causal loop diagram of fuel ratio. We can see here fuel ratio comes from fuel consumption loop and OB removal loop. In this causal loop diagram, there are 4 main loops. Those are R1, R2, R3, and B4. In R1, we can see this is what we discussed earlier, that fuel burn rate is affected by the engine load, and the engine load is affected by 4 engine load factors. Those are engine condition, road condition, operator behavior, and truck payload. The road condition and operator behavior here is the same variable that affected to the travel speed in B4 loop here. Okay, and the R2 loop shows the involvement of OB removal in relation with the cycle time and fuel consumption, and in the R3 loops shows the main activity of OB removal in one cycle time, and in B4 loop is what we discussed earlier about road transportation systems. Okay, next this is the stock and flow diagram model of fuel ratio developed from the CFD model. There are 3 submodels involved here. Submodel first is to record the fuel consumption here, and submodel 2 is to record the operating hours here, and submodel 3 is to record the overburden removal activity here. All those submodels will combine to calculate the fuel ratio here. And from this diagram, we will run the simulation to see the behavior of the main variable. Okay, and this is a simulation result of the original model. We can see the behavior of the 3 main variables. The green one is the fuel ratio behavior that shows increasing because of the OB removal tend to decrease and FBR tend to rise. Next, we will see how these 3 variables behave if we apply some scenario to this model. We will run 5 scenario here. Scenario 1, we will try to improve the engine condition in terms of biofuel usage. It is assumed if we can use biofuel B20 instead of B30, then the engine condition will be able to contribute in decreasing engine load by 1.2%. In scenario 2, it is assumed if the payload can be reduced according to the target, it will contribute decreasing in engine load by 8%. In scenario 3, it is assumed if road condition can be improved according to the agreed target score, it will contribute to a 10% reduction in engine load. In scenario 4, it is assumed if operator behavior can be normalized again, it will be able to contribute to a 5% reduction in engine load. And the last one, scenario 5, it is assumed if an improvement project to reduce operating delay can be carried out, it will contribute to a 10% reduction in the delays. Okay, let's look at the scenario result. Okay, this is the simulation result of scenario 1. We see the scenario 1 compared to the scenario 0, FBR and fuel ratio decrease, while OB removal remains the same because we don't change it. With a 1.2% decrease in FBR, the fuel ratio will gradually decrease from 0.5% in 14 months to 1.2% in the 73rd month. Okay, next, this is the simulation result of scenario 2. At this stage, the changes in scenario 1 are still happening. We see changes in FBR and fuel ratio are quite a lot. With a 9% decrease in FBR, the fuel ratio will gradually decrease from 1% in the 3rd month to 9% in the 16th month. Okay, next, this is the simulation result of scenario 3. At this stage, the changes in scenario 2 are still happening. In this scenario, the decrease in FBR and fuel ratio is even greater. 15% decrease in FBR will reduce this fuel ratio gradually starting from 0.8% in the 2nd month to 19% in the 94th month. And next, the scenario 4 result. At this stage, the changes in scenario 3 are still happening. 19% decrease in FBR will reduce the fuel ratio gradually from 1% in the 2nd month to 24% in the 98th month. Okay, next, the scenario 5 result. At this stage, changes in scenario 4 are still happening. The simulation results show that the improvement project carried out to reduce operating delay did not reduce the FBR, but instead increased from scenario 4 to scenario 5. An increase is about 2%, and the impact on increasing fuel ratio is very small, almost invisible. This could be because the decreasing in operating delay is not significant to increase the OB removal volume. Okay, next we come to the conclusion. This is the conclusion. According to the stock and flow diagram model, changes to the engine load factors simultaneously will have a significant impact on decreasing FBR and fuel ratio. And next conclusion is to answer the research question at the beginning of this section. Number 1, the variables that affect the increasing fuel ratio of the overburden truck are increasing FBR and decreasing the OB removal volume. Increasing FBR as a result of deteriorating engine condition, poor road condition, and poor operator behavior and heavy truck payload. Decreasing of overburden removal volume as a result of decreasing cycle time and increasing operating delay. Decreasing cycle time, which is influenced by lower travel speed caused by poor road condition and poor operator behavior as well. And number 2, the best scenario for lowering the fuel ratio is scenario 4, to make changes or improvement to all 4 engine load factors simultaneously. And the number 3, the fuel ratio is, in this case, can be reduced up to 24% based on the assumptions given to the engine load factors. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you and have a nice day.